What's up, everybody? Scatzilla here. Not me, the car, you already know. So I got a little problem here. Now here's a couple of pictures I'm gonna show you up here right now. As a lot of you know that actually own Chargers with the 392, you know what that is. Some of you that don't know, that is the harmonic balancer. For some reason in these cars, they fall off. Now, those two pictures that I showed you, they're both club members. And one of them was doing some work on his car. He was doing the splash pad underneath, or the splash, whatever that is, the splash cover, whatever you call that, underneath the car. He was replacing it. And when he was, I guess something, the balancer, the rubber piece or whatever it is, fell out. So he was like, what the fuck? He took his car to the dealer. Currently, I think he just got it back out. It's been there probably a week or something like that. I don't remember. And then, so today, another member, again, he has a 2020 Charger as well, Scat Pack. He decided to look, I guess he said he felt a little vibration. So he decided to check, and he looked down, and that's what there's two pictures there. One of them was with one of the guys, and the other is Rafa and Jason. I'm just gonna mention the names. Rafa and Jason. The first one with it all the way off on the ground, that's Rafa, and the other one is Jason's. And his, you can see in the picture that it's starting to pull out. Well, that gave me some cause of concern. So I decided to, hey, let me check mine, because mine and Jason's actually have about the same amount of mileage. And let's see if I can zoom in there. And back up some. I got a picture of it too, and I'll post right here. And then and with the video, if I'm trying to zoom in as much as I can, look it right there. It is starting to pull out. You can tell that it's starting to pull out. If you look around it as much as you can without getting blurry. Sorry about that, guys. Trying to zoom in and being real close, my phone does that. But you can see how blurry it is. I mean, not blurry. But you can see that it's popping out right there, the rubber. Oh, let me move you a little bit this way. There we go, that's better. But right there on the top, you can see it starting to pop out. Now, my car doesn't have very much miles, and neither does Jason. We're roughly the same amount of mileage, roughly around 43,000 miles, somewhere around there. We're in the 40,000 mile range, basically. What is the typical mileage this thing starts falling off? I mean, I drive my car daily, you know what I mean? I don't want to be driving and it falls off, and then, you know what I mean, something fuck up on the motor, you know what I mean, with that low mileage. So, my question is, what do you guys recommend in replacing it with? Should I go back to factory OEM, or should I buy an aftermarket one? And I've seen that an aftermarket one's around 500, 600 bucks. Is that the solution? Is that the way I should go? Honestly, you know, if I just put a factory OEM one back on, is it going to happen again? You know, should I just go with an aftermarket one? You know what I mean? Is it worth it in the end? Is it going to be the same? I don't know. You know, I'd like for people to leave their comments below and tell me if you know the differences. I haven't really researched it, but I'm just asking here first. If some of y'all can go in the comment section and, you know, give me your input if you have any of these cars, or if you ever worked on any of these cars, or even know the mileage that these typically go out, or is it just random? You know, like I said, this is a daily driven car. Now I have to worry about this thing if it's going to fall off when I'm driving. And that's honestly something I do not want to happen. So I'm going to look into buying another one. I might maybe just buy an OEM one just for time being, just so I don't have to worry. They're not too expensive. Like I said, the aftermarket ones are like 500, 600 bucks. And, you know, that's a lot of money for a harmonic balancer. But, you know, in the end, I know it's probably going to be worth it. But, again, I don't want to sit there and spend money on something just, I mean, that's a lot of money for, like I said, a harmonic balancer. So again, I might end up just buying an OEM one and replacing it and then, you know, just get the aftermarket one later. But, you know, again, I drive this daily. I don't want to sit there and have to worry about it falling off while I'm driving, especially when I'm driving all over the place. You know, I normally go out to Mesa, you know, that way east. You know what I mean? I drive everywhere, you know what I mean? So I just don't want it to fall off while I'm driving. Basically, that's the concern. Now that, you know, that Rafa had his fall off and he didn't even know it. And then Jason, you know, he felt a little vibration in his engine, and so he decided to check that. And this was just a couple days ago, or I think last night, I don't remember. But, you know, and then, you know, he sees his starting to slide off, and mine the same. When today I got off of work, and I just decided, you know what, I better look. And I looked underneath the hood, and, you know, sure shit, I can see it starting to, you know, peel away a little bit. Why would Dodge do that? Why would Dodge make a harmonic balancer like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if there's any other manufacturer that does it like that, but I know it is a common problem on these cars. I'm just trying to figure out, like, why would they do it like that? I don't understand why they would. It's like, you know, they just shoved it in between some pulleys and that's it, and left it alone. You know, I don't know. It's not very typical for harmonic balancers that I know of, older cars, to just fall off like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's very rare for, you know, vehicles to do that. You know, it's not common for a harmonic balancer just to peel away. You know, I had a 1978 Chevy pickup that ran the same original harmonic balancer and it had never been replaced. You know, and it ran, you know, and I even owned the truck for 13 years, almost 14 years, and it was still the original harmonic balancer from 1978. So I just don't get it, you know, 43,000 miles and that thing's already starting to pop off, you know. So yeah, just leave me a comment in the comment section, guys, if you are watching this. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you got some info on why these do this, and maybe I'll do a follow-up video, you know, if anybody leaves comments, and then I could do a follow-up video and give other people some knowledge if they don't know, you know what I'm saying? But that'll do it for this video, guys. I appreciate you watching. Again, what the fuck, Dodge? That's all I gotta ask. What the fuck? I love Mopar, I love Dodge, but what the fuck? You know what I mean? What the fuck? That'll do it, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.